Welcome to HalfPint Cooking. Today, what are we gonna make, Jane?
Oatmeal raisin cookies.
Oatmeal raisin cookies in our cookie series. Now, you either love oatmeal raisin cookies or you hate them, but what I discovered is that when we made them, Kate does not like raisins. She's never liked raisins, but then when I made them with her, she was like, ew, gross, raisins. But then when they were all done, what did she do?
She said, oh, they taste good.
They taste good, huh? They were so good. And her favorite part of the cookie was actually the raisins. So even if you don't like raisins or you don't think that you like these cookies, they really are pretty good. Do you know what we need first?
No.
With most cookie recipes, the first thing we need is butter. Look, what's wrong with this butter?
Oh, it's melted.
It's melted. Most cookie recipes, you do not want it melted, but this time you do. And if you notice, I didn't melt it all the way. If you do melt it all the way, it's totally fine. This one, I didn't just because it kept exploding in my microwave. So we have 1.5 sticks of butter, which is 3/4 of a cup of butter. Now we need 1/2 cup of sugar, which is this one, Jane. Do you want to do it?
Mm-hmm.
So this is just plain regular granulated sugar. So 1/2 cup of that. Ooh, good scooping. Okay, you can put it in.
Like this?
Yep, just like that. Next, we need 1 cup of brown sugar. Let's just do it like this, remember? And then we push it on the sides. We practice that, do you remember?
Mm-hmm.
We practice pushing it on the sides. You can use your hand to push it or a spoon to push it, whatever you want. This is 1 cup of brown sugar. Now we're gonna turn it on. We're gonna scrape the sides a little bit. Oh, yes, you scrape the sides a little. And I forgot, like always, to turn the oven on to 325 degrees. The good thing about these cookies is they do not have to be refrigerated even though they have the melted butter. You can refrigerate them, we've done it both ways, but this one you don't have to, so 325 degrees. Now, if you guys made the chocolate chip cookies, this is really similar to that recipe with the melted butter and the 1 egg and 1 egg yolk. So that's the yellow part. So Jane hates cracking eggs. So we will not make her do it. Okay, if you remember, when we crack an egg, we crack it and stick our thumbs inside, but this time we want the yellow part. So this is how we do it. Isn't that cool? Yeah. And it just gives us the yellow part. This little part right there that's connected is called the Chalzy. And you can leave that part or you can try to scrape it off because it's kind of gross, but it gets all mixed in. And then 1 egg. You can crack this into a separate bowl or a cup as well, but I'm just gonna crack it in. Now we need 1 tablespoon of vanilla. Okay, now you can turn it on.
Okay, 1?
Yep. Okay, next we need 2 cups of flour. And how we measure our flour, do you remember, Jane?
No.
With the spoon, huh?
Oh.
Yeah, and we fill it all the way up. No, with the spoon. There we go. Let's leave it over the bowl though, because sometimes we make a mess. Okay, next we need 1.5 cups of Old Fashioned Oats. Okay. 1 of these,
okay,
and 1 of these. So 1 cup and 1/2 cup.
Okay.
Next, we're gonna add 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And now we need 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Then we need 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And we're gonna give it a little stir.
Here.
Now, before we turn it on, we are gonna put our lid on top because it would probably explode.
Mom,
And go.
do it to Mom?
Yes, do it to 1. Ready to go. What kind of cookies are these?
Raisin!
We need raisins. So we have, I really like the Sun-Maid. I do go the more expensive, nicer brand on raisins because sometimes when I bought the cheap ones, I end up with a lot of stems inside and I hate that. Ooh. So let's do a cup of raisins. You hold it, I'll dump it. How about that?
Wait, you dump it?
Okay, do you want to turn it on again?
Yeah.
Yes.
One.
Yes, always one. Next, we are gonna use my favorite number 20 scoop, which is 2 tablespoons, and we are gonna scoop out our cookies. We scrape it across the end. Do you wanna push it out? Like that. Yes. Now, if you guys watched my chocolate chip cookie video, with half of it, we added some coconut and some pecans, and I baked it just the same, and they were really good. So if you liked that, you can do it with this recipe too. Now you're gonna wanna spread these out a little bit more.
A little bit more.
Because they'll run into each other. We put those in the oven and we're gonna cook them for about 13 minutes. So set your timer and let's get baking. If you wanted to freeze these also, you can go ahead and make the balls and freeze them, just like all of the other cookies. And then when it's time to bake them at 325 degrees for about 18 minutes. And if you notice, they all bake at 325 degrees for about 18 minutes. So that means if Jane wanted an oatmeal cookie and Kate wanted a chocolate chip cookie and Jules wanted a coconut cookie, we can all take a ball of our favorite dough, because I have them all in the freezer, and we can all have a different cookie and our favorite cookie, and they cook at the same time on the same sheet pan even, and everybody gets what they want, and it's amazing. The timer just rang and our cookies are done. Oh, they look gorgeous. Okay, look how good these cookies look. We're just gonna let them cool down on the sheet pan, and then we're gonna take them off, and you can store them, or you can eat them, or whatever you want.
Thanks for watching HalfPint Cooking.
Thank you. What should they do? Subscribe.
Subscribe.
Give us a thumbs up. Leave us a comment. Leave us a picture. Show us what you're making. We love to see what you're doing. Thanks. What do you think? I think I want to eat one.
Butter.
Butter. Did I say white? Because I meant egg yolk. Next, we're gonna add 1/2. I'm choking on my spit.